Kia ora. So I don't know if I told you or not, I've decided, my Yata no Kagami. Because it's a Japanese anime, I'm going to do it in Japanese with English subtitles. So I'm going to need actors that can speak Japanese. The actors that do the voices, they'll have to speak Japanese. My artists will have to know how to do like Japanese style animation. And then I'm going to have to work with someone who can translate my story and help me write the story to translate it into Japanese for the acting and then turn it back into English. So I'm going to have to tell it to them in English. We're going to have to write it in English, give it to Japanese writers who can then translate it into Japanese to act out and then put English subtitles back in it. Which, I mean, I can do that. I can do that. I can. But it gives me the opportunity to work with people all over the world. And of course, if any of our kids who come to the school can speak Japanese, then that's pretty awesome. And then also, see, with Flung Shoe Master. Now, that was a Japanese TV show. Sorry. Flung Shoe Master. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to do that like Monkey, which was a Japanese TV show filmed in China based off a Chinese story, but made by Nippon TV company. It was filmed in China, and I've just had a look in the Mongolia as well. So I'm going to do Flung Shoe Master just like Monkey. I'm not going into the storyline or anything like that, but in looking at the locations, I think that the Swiss Alps, the Italian Alps, and parts of Austria and that will be perfect for filming this, and then the rest we can do on, and through the production company, because the places, regardless of wherever I build the foundation, is going to need a lot of land. And we need a lot of land, obviously, because we're going to have to create film sets and stuff. Everything from westerns and deserts right through to alpinist, forest settings and like houses and little towns and all of that. So I've got the town sorted. So filming locations for towns is fine, but if we're going to be doing films that are based on, like Flung Shoe's going to be Chinese, and Yata no Kagami is the animation, but you know what I mean, Mountain High, we're going to need those specific locations, which is what I'm saying is that all the filming locations that I want to do all my movies in there is perfect. Switzerland is situated perfectly around the countries that I'm going to need. And so, yeah, Yata no Kagami is going to be done in Japanese with English subtitles. And the Flung Shoe Master is going to be set like in China, and like, whatever dynasty China, but in a supernatural world. And it's going to be just like Monkey. And the reason why I'm so varied, the reason why all my stories are so different, even though they're all signed up to the honeycomb system, is because I want to bring as many world cultures into this as I can. Because for the kids that want to get into movies and acting and set design and costume design and all of that sort of thing, story writing and script writing, it gives them an opportunity to work with. It's kind of my way of teaching them a history lesson. Because they won't be doing normal schoolwork. They'll be learning through working and helping them find, is this really what I want to do for a living? And if we can get them out on location to the Italian Alps, Swiss Alps, or Germany and France and that to film stuff, then it's also an experience for them if they've come from somewhere like, a farming region out the back of Japan or China or Mongolia, Siberia, whatever, Alaska, Canada, indigenous tribes and that, and we're bringing them like the Inuit and all of that. Kids from the Pacific Island, they get the opportunity to see the world and learn about the world through art and culture. So yeah, so I've decided that Yata no Kagami, now that I've finished the ending, um, now I know how it's going to finish, and that like that's kind of sealed and ready to go. That's in my little file, ready to go. Most of my movies now are all filed up and put in my little file cabinet to bring out when I'm sitting down with my writing staff and the kids, because obviously, you know, if I'm the skeleton, if what I'm doing is the skeleton, they're putting the meat and bones on it. So nothing gets signed off without my approval, obviously, but, you know, we all sit and do the stories together, but I'll be able to connect with them, you know, at home, because obviously I have to deal with pain, and, you know, I want to have a baby and raise my family, and I'm kind of creating all these jobs so that I don't have to do it myself, and they get to explore their talents, and, you know, with my adults who are the mentors, they get to give back and teach the kids the best of their craft and their skills and all of that, which is why I only want the best. So yeah, Yata no Kagami is going to be Japanese, so I need Japanese speaking voice actors and people who can do Japanese animation, and then we'll put English subtitles. So yeah, I'm going to have to work with people that can speak Japanese and translate everything into Japanese and then English, so that it all makes sense, especially for English speaking Japanese people. It's me paying homage to Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki, who was a huge influence for me. And like Akira and Tokyo Godfathers. Tokyo Godfathers is one of my favourite movies ever. I love it so much. So, yeah. And the Flung Shoe Master is going to be done like Monkey. If you remember Monkey. I loved Monkey. So, yeah. So I'm so excited. And then we get to build little villages that look like, you know, peasant village China, and I'm pretty sure that um, I'll be able to find filming locations in and around the countries that we're in order to make the. I mean, technically, we could turn the Flung Shoe Master into a TV show like Monkey. Technically, it doesn't have to be a movie. It could be a TV show. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might make the Flung Shoe Master like a TV show, just like Monkey. And it's funny, just like Monkey. I loved it. It was always on a Sunday afternoon in New Zealand. So I mean, I could make it a movie, but I think it would be fun to make it. The only thing about making it into a TV show is that we'd have to keep the sets up. But you know, we'll see. We'll see what the gods allow. I know that I have permission from China to use China. You know, I have permission from Chinese gods and their ancestors to work with China in my stories, and I have permission from Japan and the Japanese gods. I literally got like the nod from those two gods that were dressed in the red and blue when I had that dream about the stone statue when they were standing on the top of Aokigahara mountain. I'll put the link to the dream in. They gave me the nod when I followed the stone toad. So when I've got Japan's permission, I know I've got China's permission. So, yeah. So, yeah, so I'm just putting it out there. So it's all. But now I understand, because remember the ancient prophecy said that the girl from the islands who wears bare feet, the barefoot woman from the barefoot girl from the islands was going to bring the four corners of the globe together, and that they would that she would marry religion and science, and that what she brings to the world will be taught in schools and change the way people see faith forever. And that, yeah, you know, White Buffalo Calf Woman, how she brings all the colours together: the red skin, the white skin, the black skin, the brown skin, the yellow skin. That's the White Buffalo Calf Woman prophecy. She brings all the colours together, or that's what I'm doing. So yeah, so Flung Shu Master is going to be Chinese based, Chinese themed, and Yato no Kagami is going to be Japanese. I'm working on with War Babies. I'm working on New Zealand, primarily the Māori Battalion. So that's New Zealand's, that's Māori people's story coming into it. So we're getting there, you know. Um, and I've even got some Swiss stuff, Swiss Germanic folklorish things there, and some with the Domovoy and the Netchistaya for the unorthodox and that. So I'm slowly bringing it all in, slowly drawing it all in. It's all coming together slowly. Got some First Nation stuff in there with a little help from my friends, because Lewis is an Indigenous boy. The protagonist of um, the main character for With a Little Help from My Friends is an Indigenous boy, so I'll need a First Nations actor. So yeah, so I'm slowly getting there. I just, come on, Lord, hurry up and get me out of here. I need to get to Switzerland. The first thing I have to do is get my games company and my production company sorted. I need to find a house to rent that's big enough for me to turn one room into a recording studio, where I can have meetings, where my writers and musicians and that can come to my house, and we can sort everything out and get the ball rolling, um, before I've even started looking for places to build my foundation. And then once all that's up and running, once I've found my foundation, because it'll give us time to put all the advertising out to let all the surrounding countries and that know that I'm looking for talent. And then by that time, I should have found where I want to build the foundation. And once all that's underway, then I can hit the road and go on these adventures all around Europe and that, doing TV and radio interviews and that, to let everybody know that we are looking for children and acting talent to come on board and help us, turn these shows into entertainment and a future for the children. I'll be able to explain it all, and when I'm being interviewed on the radio and that, I'm going to need a good PR person, and like a personal assistant and a PR person, to be able to go to these radio stations and TV shows and that and say, hey, look, can you have this woman on? This is her job. This is what she's looking for. This is what she's advertising. And then they can, I'll have like a whole social media team who can set up our social media to say, hey guys, in 2 weeks we're going to be in Frankfurt, we're going to be in Brussels, we're going, wherever, Paris, and we're looking for this, that, and the other, and I'll need security staff, I'll need someone to pre-book all the hotels, and I don't want to fly, I want to drive, I want to see it all from the ground. Whoever is my PR, HR people, they're going to have to design everything based around going by car or train or camper van if necessary. Because I don't want to fly. I hate flying, but I want to see everything from the ground. Preferably cars, trains if I have to, but I want to be able to stop and go, look, look, oh my God, oh my God. See, because the thing is, my dad never stopped for my mum. When we went on road trips and that, my dad never stopped. My mum used to have to threaten him with all sorts. And she was always left so sad and broken hearted because my dad wouldn't stop. He promised her after he got out of the military that he would dedicate the rest of his life giving her these adventures and these dreams that he built up in her head. And then we got out of the military, he became a security guard and died before she even got to live out the dream he promised her. She wanted to travel the world. She wanted to see it all. And I get that from her. Well, when she died, I was determined to live the life she never got. And when Amber died, she said to me, live your life to the fullest. Do everything that you want to do. She said, otherwise I'll come back and haunt you. So I'm determined to get out and see the world and live the life that those two never got to live, because I don't just want to stay in the four walls. So I don't want to fly where possible. I want to take trains and cars, and I want to be able to say to whoever's driving, can we stop over there and have a look? On Google Maps or on whatever app it says that this is up the road, can we stop and have a look, please? Especially me, because then if I put a GoPro on my head and I start seeing things and like time jumping in that, then it's all recorded and I've got it there. And then I can turn that itself into the Eye in the Sky show or Mysteries Inside History. So, yeah, I want to do everything by car. So we'll be driving around Germany and France and Austria and Hungary and Switzerland and all of it, Denmark, and we'll be driving where possible. Keep flying to a minimum. Because then I'll get inspired as well. You can't get inspired sitting on a plane. I'll find who I'm meant to be with. I'll find who is meant to be a part of this, my 144,000. I'll find them along the way. So I'm going to need someone who likes to drive, who can be my driver, who just wants to get out on the open road and have the greatest adventures. I'm going to need PR, a good PR team. I'm going to need a personal assistant. But in the background, I'll have my dating app being made, and I'll have the Amber Rose being made, and the school will be getting built into what I need it for. So in a couple of years, when we're all ready to go, and you know the streaming service is built, we're going to have some beautiful things to offer. But in the meantime, you know, we can open our theatre and say, hey, look, come and buy tickets. We're about to release the Amber Rose, or the dating app will be up. And then people will be looking forward to what they get to see when we finally get to open the gates to the public. Like Willy Wonka, remember when they're all standing at the gates at the Willy Wonka factory, and he comes down limping with his cane, and then he does the flip and opens the gates, and everyone's like, wow! I want everyone to open the gates of my foundation and go, wow! All my stores will be up and running. Just, I need all hands on deck. So, as soon as I get to Switzerland, the first thing I'll get was I'm going to have to book myself into a hotel, and then I'm going to have to find a really good estate agent to help me find the perfect place for me to move into, to rent, and then hopefully, yeah, I can start looking. I'll have to employ a driver, and a PR person, a personal assistant, like immediately, and then I'm going to have an HR team to help me find my artists and programmers and all that for my games company. And yeah, I'm going to need a good lawyer. I'm going to need like good people because I'm in this by myself. It's just me, but I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not scared to do it anymore. I'm looking forward to it. I know I can trust me. So, and I'll have the money. So people won't screw me over, because they wouldn't dare screw me over, because, well, ask Elon Musk and Christopher Black and all that, what happens when you screw me over. So, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so that's that sorted. So I've got quite a lot of international flavours going on there, and it's going to be fantastic too in my foundation when I have my eatery, because I'm having a little food hall that's going to be an international eatery. So we'll be able to have like Japanese food and like Māori food. We're going to do hangis and stuff, and we'll have like Chinese and all the places where I can get these countries on board, and that we'll let them set up a little food station at my food hall. One of my dad's favourite places to go to in Australia was the International Eatery. So I'm honouring my dad there with my pies and all that as well, my George's pies. That's it's all my dad, because he was a huge inspiration for me. Without my dad, I wouldn't be doing any of this, because he was the one that introduced me to movies, action movies, martial arts movies, horrors, He was my inspiration. He was absolutely 100% my inspiration. He's the reason why I do unsolved murders, unexplained mysteries, why I know the truth about the brethren, aka aliens. I hate calling them aliens. It's so disrespectful. It's like calling the king a tart or something. It's just disrespectful. I'd no more call them aliens than I would call someone like Vladimir Putin a retard. So yeah, just so disrespectful. Like yeah. So anyway, but having said that, we will need to make an alien movie, and that is what the Quantum Menace Part 3, The Legend of Heracles. Sorry, The Conception of Heracles. That's our space movie. That's our version of Star Wars. So we'll have aliens. So the kids will be able to have at it with what the aliens are going to look like. And it's our version of Star Wars. And we're going to make it old school as well, because we're not going to be using CGI or where possible, and no AI. It's all going to be done old school. Like when you look at the movies, the documentaries of how they made Star Wars on a limited budget, but made all those special effects and that look like, wow, we're going to do it like that. So I can't wait. It's all starting to come together. I just need to be put in position. So come on, Lord, get this over and done with so I can get to Switzerland and start building this empire. I'm so excited. It's going to be bringing kids and people from all over the world, and they all get to put their culture and their folklores and their mythologies and their language and their food and their ancestors and their gods' stories and all that all in on the mixing bowl. We're a melting pot without the racism. So I can't wait. I'm excited. So yeah, so that's what I've decided with those two movies. And I shall speak to you later. Monkey. Mwah. Monkey.